but the natural gas report comes out tomorrow, and that is likely not going to be, or actually, that will likely come out because we did get crude oil inventories earlier today. So, lots of interesting things occurring in this market. There's no other way to put that. The geopolitical kind of interfering with the economics, and the markets themselves still saying, okay, you guys do what you're doing. We're going to go ahead and trade, and we're going to make this happen. We're going to have the economy that we feel we deserve, and futures markets taking this head on and saying, all right, you're shut down, we're open, let's go hit those new highs. So I thought it was a pretty impressive day. And I like the way that the markets were sort of building on each other. You saw the NASDAQ sort of give that last little kick in there, which got us the high all the way up to 67, 69.50, not just a new high, but a little bit more. For those of you that were watching the NASDAQ market earlier in the day, they had peaked above 20,000, I think, to about 20,010. And then as you have the S&P made its breaking move, kind of stalls out a little bit. And then the NASDAQ comes up and says, hey, us too. So they make that move above 20,010. They run up to what had been the high. The high of the third quarter was 25,027. So NASDAQ peaking above 25,010 and makes that run straight up. And of course, we end up at high of 25,036.75. Now, after that, the market got a little bit quiet. So the next question is, where is that next impetus? Where does that next criteria come from to show us the next big move in the market? And it could be as simple as following the S&P and the NASDAQ again. We might want to pay a little bit of attention to the Dow futures, to the Russell futures, which still have those third quarter highs to try and chase down. Or we could be looking at a market that sort of brings it all back together. So there are a lot of options facing us, and how the market reacts to everything going forward is going to be a big deal, especially in the face of some of these government reports that we may not get. So let's go around the room, see where everybody's from. I think we got about 90 seconds or so before we kick off with a little music. I know Adam's probably already got that queued up. But guys, this is one heck of a market, and the market itself is a nice distraction from some of the politics that are out there. So U.S. stocks trade flat as government shutdown drags on. That was about an hour ago. I think they missed the Wednesday market, which didn't trade very flat. Let's see. Intel in early talks to add AMD as foundry customer. Ooh. Intel and AMD actually looking pretty good. So AI chip makers, Intel getting involved in that. Supreme Court has weighed in on a few issues. We got Apple moving along. Self-driving truck startup. Hopefully they'll look a little bit better than the Tesla truck. I mean, come on. The engineering marvel, but whew, yeah, it looks a little different, doesn't it? So, speaking of things that look a little bit different, let's get started with Wednesday on the web. Cue the music, Adam.
In the early light, before the rooster crows, the T-bus sits where the ticker flows. A coffee cup, a steady hand. He trades the market like a riverboat man. Oh, T-Buzz, he's trading his way through the peaks and the falls, come what may, with a gut full of grit and a heart that won't sway. T-Buzz, he did it his way. He watches the charts like the stars in the sky, looking for answers, a reason why. Some call it luck, some call it skill, but Tom just calls it paying the bills. Through the red and the green, he's danced with a line. Every loss and each win, a tale of his time. Oh, T-Buzz, he's trading his way through the peaks and the falls, come what may, with a gut full of grit and a heart that won't sway. T-Buzz, he did it his way. Not every day's a victory, not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold. With his eyes on the prize, his heart in the fray, T-Buzz stands tall at the end of the day. Not every day's a victory, not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold. With his eyes on the prize, his heart in the fray, T-Buzz stands tall at the end of the day. Not every day's a victory, not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold. With his eyes on the prize, his heart in the fray, T-Buzz stands tall at the end of the day. Not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold.
Good evening, folks. It's 8 o'clock, and we're about to start another successful day. I've done some work between the time the market closed and now, and I'm going to do something tonight I haven't done in a long time. S&P is trading at 67.60, and I'm looking for a target tomorrow of 67.79. 67.79. We'll see if how that plays out, okay? 67.79. Everybody write that number down. We'll check on it tomorrow. Miles likes the song. All right. I like it too, Miles. I give Adam credit for that, our songwriter there. He figured out how to do it, and it really kicks us off. And it's good because we try to start right after it finishes. So that's good. Yep. Adam says he wrote it, he sung it, he played the instruments all by himself. Adam Mowry, singer. Anyway, we had a great day today, and we're going to have a great day tomorrow. And if you want to be part of that, you got to take action. You can't sit there and not take advantage of a market that we got right here. This is a good one. We kicked off October 1st with a superior day. Our patience did pay big time, and I think I'm really looking forward to tonight, tomorrow, and it seems like everybody's starting to pick up. We had a question asked today by one of our new customers. He said, "Tom, I'm making a lot of money off your pivot numbers. Is there any way to get in intraday? I said, sure. And we showed it inside the T-Buzz Talk and Trade how the pivot numbers are there for every time zone: Asia, Europe, U.S., and U.S. in the afternoon. People go, I don't think people realize they were there. We didn't highlight it. Chuck, maybe what you ought to do in the future is have after each of those reference bars, 1, 2, 3, and 4, post a big thing in there if you can think about it of the pivot number. Pretty good.
I suppose we could add on. That's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah,
By
because it's
the way,
right there. I think in the raw data it's there, and I think maybe you ought to highlight it. Especially D-mini. And then I'll put my daily one in there like I always do at 5 in the morning. So that's good information, because it's good. It's good. The customer signed up for T-Buzz TV when he found out he could go there and get it. That room's got a lot of good stuff in it. Okay. Frank says, he said, do not forget, Tom, you told me way back when E-mini was around 6,200, it was headed to 7,200, 7,220, 7,280. Frank's got a good memory. He writes this stuff down. Check it out. Way to go, Frank, for reminding me. SP says TNT is a wealth of information each day. Chuck, I tell you, our trade and trade's growing. I think that we just got to keep putting the word out there. I think people like the fact they know at 11 o'clock every day we'll be there, and we'll play the song sharply at 11. As soon as the song goes off, we get started. We'll start doing that on Wednesday on the web and any other time that Adam so chooses. But
and Tom, worth noting, no better time to get involved in training trade than the fourth quarter. I mean, you have first of all everything that's going on this week. Everybody wants to know about what's happening with the markets with the government shutdown. TNT is a great place to find out about it. And then you've got your track record in the fourth quarter, which quite frankly speaks for itself.
Yeah, Chuck, I remember when he first told me all that years ago, and he was right. And, you think about all that stuff, but I don't know, it just comes together here in the fourth quarter, and I'm very excited about the fourth quarter. We had a great first day. So that was great. Okay. So pretty good stuff. So, all right, folks, let's see where we go tonight. I said I thought the target would be about 67.79. Write that down, see how close it is. And man, a lot of good stocks moving today. A lot of good things happening. And I think we broke code on our futures market too, because people are just starting to type in the education I've been working on. I mean, $3,300 for David Cornell. He's new futures trader. Is here in person. That's a great day for getting started. All right, let's get into it if we can. Be sure to join T-Buzz TV. I'll be putting out a video tomorrow on that. Try to keep it really tight, less than 2 minutes. Risk involved in trading, past performance is not indicative of future results. In my opinion, it's like a train leaving the station, folks. October 1 kicked off the fourth quarter. Pay attention. There's opportunities here. This is where you can erase a lot of your sins for the first 9 months if you pay attention. You're going to have that opportunity. Okay? You're going to have that opportunity. Seven Sisters update. Look at that. 13% for D-mini, 17.66 for the NASDAQ. Dow's up to 8% now. DAX is back to 21. Gold is up 47%, and crude oil It's like a sinking ship, down 13.95%. Bonds are starting to move away from the 115 pivot. I'm actually long bonds now, long bond futures tonight. Long bond futures, all my futures traders. If you're interested, I'm long. Stops at 116.19, I think, where I got it. Now, here's my pivots. Write these pivots down. These are the pivots that I'm using for the month of October. Any questions about these stocks I put up here? These are the pivots. What does it mean? It means if the TQQ is at 105 and my pivot's at 101, I'm going to test you. Should you be long or short right now on the TQQ? If the pivot number is 101.73 for the month, long, correct. If the QQQ pivot is 597 and the QQQ, let me find it, QQQ 603, should you be long or short? I haven't put nuclear on here, I will. We're building it. How about gold? 38.87, and gold right now is 38.83. It's neutral. That's an example of neutral. There's the bonds, 116.19 is my pivot. It's currently 117.03. I'm long bond. What does being long bonds mean about interest rates? What does it tell you about interest rates if bonds are higher than this pivot I just posted? Interest rates are going down, correct. That affects everybody, okay? That's what it affects. And if the E-minis at 67.60 and the pivot 67.25, what does that tell them? Equities are going higher. 75% of it are anyway. Apple 255. Apple, just check it, is at 255, so it's early. That's pretty good. Look at MU, 165, currently trading 182. Is MU going to have a good month in October? You know, Tesla, if you remember, Tesla went up to 40% last month. By the way, did y'all see my Tesla recommendation in TNT this morning? I said buy it at 445. Did y'all see that? Jennifer said, yep. Tesla closed at 461. Anybody like an extra $1,500 on 100 shares? There you go. Or two Delta options, Delta 50 options would have done it, wouldn't it? Folks, pretty good, isn't it? Jim says, I killed it on Tesla today. Way to go. You're reading the TNT word for sure. Now, Carol asked me this morning when I had my meeting, said, Tom, how did you know after we've been patient, staying out of the market, how did you know? How did you know to be long today? I said, Carol, look at the posting I put in TNT. We were higher than RB2. Does everybody know when RB2 is? Time-wise, RB2, reference bar 2. The time is 4:30 to 5. I knew about 5:15. I typed it in there. Strength in the market. Here we go. That's exactly what happened.
Order submitted.
That's exactly the way it worked.
Order fell.
Now, how does my track record, and a lot of new people here, I know some of the old people probably getting tired of me saying this, but I'm so proud of it, I want you to see it. How's my track record hold up after all this years of trading? Well, in May, I was 93% accurate. That there is enough to retire and go to the Hall of Fame. June, that was even better. I'm the chairman of the Hall of Fame, 100% accuracy there. Then I had Sawgrass face to face where you could see it in person for yourself. Y'all remember Sawgrass at TPC? Who was at Sawgrass? We have it every year, annual program. Who was at Sawgrass? Those trades there are pretty awesome, wasn't it? We made them, didn't we, Jennifer? Didn't we, Laura? Didn't we, Fred? It's the real stuff. We did it. Scholarship after scholarship. Look where I was buying MU in June and look at it where it is today. There's an example. Look where I was buying TQQ. There's July, 85% accuracy. August, we were 67% accurate. In September, we were 83% accurate, our total wins and losses. 189 issued trades. That's a lot of trades. 167 winners, 21 losers, and 1 break even. That's an 88% accuracy. That ain't bad, folks. That ain't bad. Now, if you're interested in following all my services, the easy way to do it is join the Gold program. And we have a new thing called the Jet Link, okay? There, Adam just posted it. If you want to join the Gold program, dtitrader.com/gold, you'll get all those services piped into you. Probably the cheapest thing you can do over the next year by joining the Gold program. Now, why did a government shutdown lead to higher prices? Well, who was the president when this happened? The one time in history, who was the president when it happened? President Trump was the president. Y'all starting to get the pattern here? The last time this happened, he was the president. Pretty interesting in how patterns reappear. Today turned in a big trade day at DTI. We put out a whole bunch. Who took what I said today and made money? This is the fun part for me. Who took what I said today and made money? And you can type it in there if you got a dollar amount, because I'm going to tell you, we'll share it. Philip said he's up $1,200 a day. There you go. That's a $6,000 a week on average. That's about a $300,000 run rate, Philip. Not bad. Junior was up $800 today. $4,000. That's a $200,000 run rate. Here's Roger, Dr. Orthopedic. He was up $2,550. $2,550 is about a $10,000 run rate. That's about $500,000 a year. Todd's $1,000. That's a $52,000. This is the power of DTI. Neil, $1,200. $300,000 run rate. Neil, you didn't make that much being an airline pilot, did you? Ben made $1,100 SLB. Isn't it fun, Neil, to join a good group like you did? I know you were skeptical. Now. Jennifer made $500. Let's see, Jennifer, how you like this? How you like this as a career, a new career for yourself? $500. She's coming back. Her and her daughter are coming back for a class. Here's NVIDIA going higher. One of my picks. Palantir, one of my picks. Tesla, one of my picks. QQQ, one of my picks. I put the one ticker program, which I think I got 38 to 40 trades in a row in that program, the one ticker. We were a few cents away from hitting our target. We might have hit it. Jonathan didn't tell me, but I'm going to tell you, we put that record on the line today on the one ticker program. Who's a member of the one ticker? Did anybody take profit on that today? I'm just curious. I know it was close there at the end at our target. Jim made $3,000 off of it today. Way to go, Jimmy. Jimmy from California. That's what I wanted to hear. Hey, are y'all copying this and letting everybody see this? This is pretty good stuff. This is real good stuff. You ought to be copying this and letting other people see it. This is best approach he's ever seen, rather than a diversified portfolio. All right, I want to talk about futures. It's time to get serious about making you a real trader, making you take what you've done and pyramid. What does the word pyramid mean? If I said, let's pyramid your knowledge, what would that mean? It'd be expanding your knowledge, wouldn't it? I'm a strong believer in futures. I teach futures, and I'm telling you, I've got a program second to none. I had a guy been trading futures for years. He told me, Tom, you teach futures different than anybody I've ever seen. I've been trading it for years. I'm learning more from you than I did myself, out by myself doing it. I said, well, I got a little background, let me tell you. The reason I'm so accurate with stock and options is because I use futures. You know, my experience in futures goes back over 40 years, back when I had a brokerage firm, being a member of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. I was part of the team that brought the DAX to the US, the retail side of it. I was a key marketer for the CME and the CBOE. Great fun back in the day. A lot of people didn't know about the E-mini and things like that, especially the DAX. Now, this is the key. I was one of only one out of 50 permits issued out of Chicago, which and got a Globex terminal. It was the forerunner to the electronic trading. I talk about it a lot because a lot of people can't say they were part of that, can they? I don't care what they've done. Having that machine in Mobile, Alabama was quite an accomplishment. Now, I have training every Monday on futures at 7 o'clock on Monday night. I've just put in what I call an acceleration plan. The acceleration plan allows you to take a little thing called deltas. Everybody know what delta means? How many people say yes if you know what delta? So here's what I decided to do. I'm going to organize some videos over the next 5 weeks. Call it Delta 50, Delta 40, Delta 30, Delta 10, Delta, all the way down to 10, and how you use Delta in certain situations. You tie in your risk with that and your reward. And I'm going to show you how to do that through 5 weeks of master classes. 5 weeks is included if you join Futures tonight. Bill said it right. If you want to learn futures, I think I'm your guy. Look at old Bill giving the DTI salute over there. Hello, Bill. That's in Mobile, Alabama, when he first did that in his first class. Now, here's a list of some of the classes we held so far. First, we got a foundation for it. You got to learn what futures are. We go to the exchanges. We learn how it works. It's just exciting. These are the kind of things that you do when you're trying to be better at this game of trading. Remember, folks, one thing is not going down over your lifetime. Think about it. Expenses. Your expenses have been in a bull market ever since you've been 5 years of age. How many people know what I'm talking about when I say your expenses rise every year? No matter what happens, the expenses rise, correct? So the money you thought you needed is not even close. You have to work on this profession we call trading. And you don't want to do it halfway. You want to do it by being knowledgeable and informed, okay? And that's the beauty of what we do here, okay? It is what you do. Okay? Understanding futures is the first start. Then integrating options and futures together. This is what I love. I didn't have options when I learned futures. I had to do pure futures, but I'm telling you, I like these options. I've got option plays in silver now. I'm about to have one on the E-mini for tomorrow's expiration. I'm about to have one. And if you're in futures first, I will share this with you if you want me to. How many people in futures first want me to share this E-mini trade that will pay for this? How many people would like me to share it about 9 o'clock tonight? Well, I'll share it. Go to Futures First Telegram. You'll see it. Learning the Seven Sisters, tell you how to do it. We have crude oil trades, bond trades. I got one working tonight, I told you. Gold and silver all the time, E-mini and the micro. You know, you can have a lot of fun, but at the same time, you be smart about having fun. Learning that platform you're using is important too. We spend time with it. I teach through Tasty Trade. MTI is another great tool for futures. I call it Futures Plus now because if you come with me, you're going to learn how to tie futures to stocks and options along the way. Isn't that great that I'm expanding it to do that? I noticed that in my futures classes, we were trading what the opportunities were. There were just a lot of things there face to face. I said, hey, why don't we buy gold here, GLD, and make some money? We did. And everybody goes, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Notice that it ties in. This is how it ties in. The E-mini correlates with the SPY. Anybody ever trade the SPY? How would you like to trade the SPY with inside edge because you knew about the E-mini? You don't think that would improve your results? Or how about the QQQ with inside with NASDAQ futures? Or the diamond with the Dow? Would that be great? All that would lead into what I would call a way for you to make money. How about gold with GLD? I do that all the time. Income trade, silver, and bonds, TLT. All this will end up doing what I would say a way to make money. And you got to have strategies to make money. If the E-mini goes up, look at this slide. This is what happened today. What happened to the SPY? Notice the E-mini took off way before the SPY did. This is what we call trader's edge. Trader's edge. Futures First classes are ongoing. I'm continuing to expand our library of futures education every Monday night. Calling it Futures Plus now because it's expanded. This is the phase where you tie everything together through Futures First. Futures education now includes 1 year of online training and 1 year license to the Roadmap software. Never done this before. 1 year license to that. The format for Futures First education online is training on Monday night at 7 p.m. Insights posted in Futures First throughout the week. I tell you, if you join, get you a little book like this. Everybody see that book? Get a book like that and write insights down and key information you pick up from me when it comes to futures. I told people today that I was buying a Delta 50 option with an expiration in December. This was Delta 10 I did in play. And I said, review the training video I did on this. I wanted to put this position on for December, and the rest is silver history, we'll call it, okay? 3,300 for Dave, not bad. That was posted in Futures First. Here's how it's going to be the framework. I'm going to build videos, short videos, where you go back and review it. If I say, hey, a Delta 50 is in play, then you go here, you know the expiration date, how many days out, what strike price to use. you know all the information right there on the Delta 50, where you're wrong and where you're right. That's the way I'm going to code it, where you'll know what I'm talking about, and it's easy to find depending on the situation. Each of these will have different expiration dates based on the current market. I'll share that with my experience when they set up. You see what I'm doing, folks, right here? Does everybody understand? I'm expanding your knowledge to take advantage of the opportunity. That's all I'm doing here, and I hope you really take advantage of this and add. The more you trade, the better you'll be as you learn. Ask questions. It's all about education. The Future First package, including all this, I've got 7 priced at this. This is cheap, folks. Jonathan made a mistake and did that. And I said, I'll honor it for the next 10. We've sold 3 already, got 7 left. Okay? That's it, folks. I'm laying it out for you. Now, the bonus tonight, I will share what I'm doing right now for tomorrow's action. I'll do it. We'll set it up and, you know, make it happen. Sounds like a plan to me. Doesn't it sound like a plan to you? What do you think? You like my idea? Pay attention, Jennifer, you'll see it. No, it should be it'll be in the Telegram channel. That's where I'll post it. Okay. 9 o'clock. Go into that room. You got enough time in the next 30 minutes to go in there and see what I'm doing. My target, I just got to tell you, I told you, 67.79. Get signed up right now. I'm finding the opportunity I'm going to do. It's going to kick it off this week's deal. Oh, I got it right here. Right here. Pretty interesting stuff right here. Got it right here. Here it is. Found it. I'm looking over here because I'm trying to set it up. Okay. Got it. Roger says, look, folks, futures are the future and no one teaches them like Tom. Monday night at 7. We'll just add a year to it, Skip. Add a year to your subscription. Any last minute questions for me? Doesn't take me long to get to the point. Get joined, take one of these spots. If you're taking one of these spots, let me know. I have Adam send you the jet link, okay? If you want one of these spots, I want to get Adam cut this off. I'm not going to do this deal past these 10, okay? So if you want one of these spots, speak up now. Write this date down, October 1st. the date that you took the journey with me over the next year. What a time to get started. Pretty cool stuff, isn't it? You can call 904-706-3532.